Right now at 6, it's an alert day. Greg is tracking a line of storms. Who might get hit and when?
And how budget adjustments are impacting the Winona School District.
Watching WKBT La Crosse, this is News 8 Now at 6.
Good evening and thank you for joining us for News 8 Now at 6. I'm Emily Brown.
And I'm Ken Kozarowski. It is an alert day. Greg is tracking a line of storms.
Yeah, let's send it over to him. Greg, when does it all start and when will it stop?
Well, right now we do have storms in Minneapolis, west of Minneapolis, and that's a line that we're watching right now. So the alert is going out to about midnight. This line's going to come through. How quickly it does and how much severe it is a little bit still in question, but the threat is potentially still there as we go throughout. Right now, Eau Claire's had a little bit of rain with the storms coming through. Ladysmith actually had a ½ inch with a thunderstorm, but that is pushed east of the area. That's not in effect really right now. Now, overall, there's your high temperatures we had today, mostly 80s. The dew points were obviously higher. There's your storms we're talking about. The ones up to the northwest of Minneapolis, they were tornadic. Now they're just severe thunderstorm warnings. That's the line that's going to be, well, eventually is going to form a line with individual supercells right now. You can see overall, there's your activity that pushed east. Actually, Ladysmith picked up quite a bit of rain on that one too. But overall, we're not going to see much in the way of that. Now, as we go forward, we time this out. It's going to be about maybe 7:30 when this line pushed through. And you can see that curvature of that bow type shape. That indicates strong, gusty, or damaging winds. It'll then begin to surge south. And then the question is, how strong can it be as it surges south towards La Crosse by about 10:30, and then later on it'll go further southeast. But by that point, it probably has weakened enough just to be some gusty winds, and showers and thunderstorms will continue beyond this, but only probably for a couple hours and non-severe. Overall, there's your low temperatures back in the 60s, upper 60s, a little bit more muggier to the south, a little bit less humid to the north behind this cold front. So later on we'll break down decrease in humidity, but we still got some showers and thunderstorm chances going Tuesday, especially Wednesday. And then if you want the summertime like heat, we got that in the 8-day forecast, and we'll break that down a bit later too.
Sounds like a plan. Thanks, Greg.
Well, Winona Public Schools are facing a budget crunch. On the line, nearly $2 million in cuts.
News 8 Now's Allison Fergit has a look at what's at stake.
The Winona School District had to make a $1.6 million adjustment to their budget, and a lot of those changes come through staffing.
This decision, first of all, wasn't made lightly. It wasn't made without information.
The district opting to cut a number of staff positions to balance the budget.
Roughly 80% of our costs really are tied to salary and benefits for our employees.
A large chunk of those staffing changes will come from the district's elementary school reconfiguration plan. Overall, there will be 5 less elementary school classrooms across the district.
Every one of those reductions is difficult. It's painful because there's a person behind that.
Thanks to retirements and other openings, the district rehired many of the teachers it initially let go.
The vast majority of those staff will still be employed with us in the fall, perhaps just in a different position.
The district also plans to leave some vacant positions open to save on costs.
So that doesn't mean that work goes away. It means it has to be redistributed. It means that other people have to kind of step in and fill a role here or fill a role there.
Brzezinski says the budget adjustments boil down to a mismatch in their funding and the cost to run a school district.
Every single aspect of our district operations continues to become more and more expensive every year.
Last week, Minnesota passed its state budget, which included a $200 per pupil funding increase. While the increase is helpful, school leaders say it's not enough.
It'd be great if, the legislature and federal government would say, we're going to contribute this much, additional resource, to the public schools, and that would be really helpful.
Now they're hopeful that after making all of the changes this year, in the next few years, they won't have to make as many adjustments to the budget. Reporting in Winona, Allison Fergit, News 8 Now.
Developing in Minnesota, tied to those lawmakers shot the suspected shooter, Vance Belter, in court today. He's facing a slew of charges. They include federal murder and stalking. Belter is accused of fatally shooting State Representative Melissa Hortman and her husband. The suspect also charged with shooting and wounding State Senator John Hoffman and his wife.
Belter wore a black tactical vest and body armor. He carried a flashlight and a Beretta 9mm handgun. He also wore a hyper-realistic silicone mask.
Authorities also recovered 5 additional firearms from the suspect's vehicle and a notebook with more than 45 lawmakers' names.
We also learned today that a top Wisconsin lawmaker was reportedly on Belter's list. News 8 Now's Grace Monk has more from the newsroom.
Authorities say Senator Tammy Baldwin was reportedly on that list. According to a spokesperson for Senator Baldwin, she was notified by law enforcement and is grateful for their swift action. For now, she is focusing on the victims involved. This isn't the first concern for state lawmakers. Just last month, a threat was made against Congressman Derek Van Orden and his family. Online threats and harassment are a growing concern for all three levels of government. A political expert from UWL says this could have an impact on elections.
If people are concerned about the harassment they might face, if they are concerned about threats and even violence, then I would understandably expect that people might bow out of running for politics.
He says this could also lead to enhanced security at the Wisconsin and Minnesota state capitals. And according to Chergosky, the state capitals don't have screening measures in place. He says anyone can enter the building. Reporting from the newsroom, Grace Monk, News 8 Now.
A Monroe County resident is speaking out tonight against an order to remove pride flags from the Human Services building. The woman is with County Human Services. She and several colleagues hung pride flags inside their office windows this month. Last week in an email, County Administrator Tina Osterberg asked employees to remove any displays expressing personal beliefs. News 8 has a copy of that email, and the reasoning is, quote, to preserve the neutrality, dignity, and historical integrity of our buildings and grounds. The county employee says workers routinely hang banners or signs for things like breast cancer or autism awareness. She says the pride flags are meant to show they serve everyone.
Because people that are part of this community live in this county. They work here, they're your friends, they're your neighbors, they're your brothers and sisters. And letting them know that they are seen and valued, I didn't believe was a controversial message.
News 8 has reached out to Osterberg for reaction. We have not heard back.
The Tobin man accused of multiple child sex crimes was in court. James Ossinger was arrested in November. He allegedly was caught with images and videos of child sex abuse. He's now facing 26 felonies. A court appearance is set for October 27th.
A Prairie du Chien man is in custody on child enticement charges. Sean Levick is accused of luring a 14-year-old into his van earlier this month. Investigators say he had intentions of engaging in sexual acts, but the victim got away. Levick is a registered sex offender. He is held on a $50,000 bond.
Well, the Tank Creek Bridge could cost millions to replace. It's on the Great River State Trail. It went up in flames last month, and police say it was an intentional act. Representative Steve Doyle says the damage will trigger a complex state approval process. And a traffic alert for Onalaska drivers. Sand Lake Road will be down to one lane from 7 a.m. to 5 p.m. this week. It's due to construction of a new crosswalk. The city suggests using East Avenue and Riders Club Road as a detour.
The Y offered free brain health tips today. The Nourish Your Brain event took place at the Dahl Family YMCA. The event focusing on brain health through food, movement, and mindfulness. Participants enjoyed a keynote speech from a neuropsychologist, a cooking demo, and some mocktails.
We really wanted to make sure that everyone knows how important connection and socializing is. And so that's a huge thing of why we wanted to host an in-person wellness retreat with over 30 people coming today at the Y, which is fantastic.
The free event ran until 3 this afternoon.
Governor Evers was in La Crosse today. It's to highlight his efforts to expand access to affordable housing. He toured the Collective on 4th, a $16 million housing development offering 62 mixed-income residential units.
Every time we talk about what we need to do better in our state, there's so many things, but housing is kind of a, everybody has to have it, right? And so it is critical that that becomes kind of a linchpin to having a good life here in Wisconsin.
Evers also visited the low-income housing units in Hayward.
Coming up, world leaders meeting in Canada for a G7 summit, how they're responding to trade tensions and Middle East conflicts.
And Southern Europe's streets turned tense this weekend as locals pushed back against over-tourism with smoke canisters and protests.
Farmers and rural homeowners, is it a pain to make time for Saturday trips to your town dump? Big Hook has a low-cost, convenient solution. Starting at less than $2 per day, will leave you a small dumpster and dump it monthly. Call Mike today.
It's summertime, and the Ford lineup is ready to step into the spotlight. Lights, summer, action. Get great deals on your favorite Ford trucks. Then, take advantage of the season. From the built Ford Tough F-150 to the 2024 North American Truck of the Year Super Duty, your local Northland Ford dealers are rolling out the red carpet with exclusive deals on America's best-selling trucks. Get behind the wheel of a new Ford today. Don't wait. Last chance to get employee pricing, plus more than $11,000 in total savings on a new 2025 F-150. Only at your local Northland Ford dealers.
Fleet Farm is the place to stock up on supplies for all your furry and feathered friends. Get a 40-pound bag of Sprout Mixed Bits cat food for just $25.99. Save $5 on all bags of Nutrisource dry dog food. And for you backyard birders, 20 pounds of KT Basic Blend bird food is now only $11.99. Count on your local Fleet Farm for the best prices guaranteed on all your feed, seed, and pet care needs. And find even more weekly deals at fleetfarm.com.
All the financial benefits are awesome. And then on top of that, it's green energy.
We have project managers that will walk you through the process, keep you informed along the way, and make sure that the communication is the best that it can be.
The 30% solar tax credit could end in 2025. If you want to install solar on your residential or commercial property and receive this tax credit, call 608-780-2347 to get solar and get saving with Olson Solar Energy today.
Farmers and rural homeowners, is it a pain to make time for Saturday trips to your town dump? Big Hook has a low-cost, convenient solution. Starting at less than $2 per day, we'll leave you a small dumpster and dump it monthly. Call Mike today.
Leaders are gathering in Canada to discuss critical global issues. President Trump has set a deadline that is less than a month away now for dozens of countries to come to trade agreements or potentially see sweeping tariffs go into effect. Also looming over the meetings, Israel's unprecedented strikes on Iran and the spiraling conflict.
I think a deal will be signed or something will happen, but a deal will be signed. And I think Iran is foolish not to sign one. I want to see no nuclear weapon in Iran, and we're well on our way to making sure that happens.
President Trump on social media warned if the U.S. is attacked in any way by Iran, the full strength of the U.S. armed forces will come down at, quote, levels never seen before.
Well, tourists in southern Europe got a less than friendly welcome over the weekend as locals hit the streets to protest what they call over-tourism. Demonstrators in Spain drew water guns on tourists to dampen their travels. Some also set off smoke canisters. Many locals marched to voice their displeasure. Some blame tourism for driving up housing costs and pricing people out of their neighborhoods.
We have our own problems right now. Tremendous problems. So we're not going to complain about it. I think that these people are feeling something that that is to them very personal and is perhaps destroying some of their areas.
International travel spending in Europe is expected to hit $838 billion this year, up 11% from 2024.
We'll have more news ahead.
But first,
yeah, we got the severe storms potential this evening, but we also got more storms potentially for Tuesday, Wednesday, drying out a little bit, and then we got some heat and humidity coming back for next weekend. We'll break it all down coming up on your First Warn Weather Update after the break.
When you're trying to remodel your bathroom and find that perfect look, seeing is believing. And when one of our comfort advisors visits your home to talk about bringing your vision to life, they'll come with all our products in our new showroom trailer. Discovering all the possibilities from the comfort of your home.
A home you love. A business that endures. It takes your vision, your hard work, and your dedication to bring them to life. The right tools help. Case IH truly understands your vision and what you need to achieve it. That's why we build the equipment, the local dealer and service network, and the data and tech you want today and tomorrow. Because we don't just build our equipment to work. We build it to work for you.
Visit any of your local Johnson Tractor dealerships, now including La Crosse and Richland Center.
This river wasn't dammed in a day, and GMC trucks weren't built overnight. Like every American achievement, they are a result of dedication. Over 100 years dedicated to the art of engineering and the ambition to always move this country forward. Or get 0% APR plus $2,600 total value on this Sierra 1500 model. Visit your Best Choice GMC dealer today.
To everyone who finds joy in a great meal, we can't wait to see you again at Culver's.
What makes us happy is making you happy.
We want every meal
Every meal to be filled with big bite moments.
Lick the spoon moments.
And even get your hands off my cheese curds moments.
They're just too good to share. From the juiciest bites to the sweetest scoops.
We're all about bringing people together
over delicious food. From Wisconsin with love.
Welcome to Delicious.
Yeah.
Get an 11% rebate on everything when you shop at Menards. We carry a huge selection of automotive maintenance products. CleanDev is a diesel exhaust fluid approved for use in all diesel SCR engines. Get a 2.5-gallon jug for $6.99 after rebate. Secure what matters most with SmartStrap's innovative line of ratchet tie-down products. Get this 4-pack featuring durable military-grade construction. Only $24.99 after 11% rebate.
Save big money at Menards.
With a tankless system, you can have unlimited hot water whenever and for however long you need it. Upgrade to a tankless today and never be left without hot water again. Rely on Maxwell White, plumbing done right.
Yeah, we have this line that is beginning to shape up here now just west of Minneapolis. Earlier, there were kind of individual supercells going on, even tornado warnings too. But right now, it is starting to come together a little bit, and that's the line we're watching for. Eau Claire and Ladysmith had this little activity that came through there. They had pretty good amounts of rain too in Ladysmith, but over that's pushed east. All those numbers right there are your dew points. We've had pushed up to the 70, even 73 in Mankato. So that's one thing we're keeping an eye on. That's associated with the front that's going to be coming through here. So the concern or the question mark is, can this line continue to push east, and how long does it stay kind of severe once the sun goes down and starts driving southeastward? So better shot, you're going to see it up there. A closer look at that activity too. You can see actually these two are actually tornadic storms right now, but now they're back down to severe thunderstorm warnings. Some hail at that, but the thing is when they start forming this line, it's going to switch to a wind threat. And really when you start seeing this type of curvature, kind of a bow shape, that indicates of a very damaging wind threat, kind of an outflow that's racing ahead of the thunderstorm complex. And that looks to reach potentially Eau Claire by 7 to 8. It's then going to start driving south and east. So when it starts driving south, if it gets too far ahead of that thunderstorm complex, this little outflow, it tends to weaken the storms too. So this will kind of drive it south probably to about 9:30 Winona. It'll be to Black River Falls. The idea, the concern is that going to be damaging winds as it comes through or not? That's the big question mark. I think even if it isn't, gust above 50 or gust 250 with this line coming through still is a good possibility. It'll then surge southward, La Crosse, potentially by 10:30, and then you can kind of see this line ahead of it. This is outflow. When it does that, all the stuff behind it really begins to kind of weaken. So once that passes through, it's just general thunderstorms for maybe a couple hours, and then it'll push east. You see by 11 p.m., not much going on in Eau Claire, and then further on, once we get to about midnight 1, pretty much it's over with for La Crosse too. So we're dealing with that as a front kind of slides south. Now as we go into tomorrow, the front's going to kind of lie to the south of us, or just there. So it's going to be a little bit less humid. You can see the winds turning around a little bit to the north. We are going to have some opportunities for showers coming, but it's going to be much lighter and more probably centered south of I-90. You see towards the afternoon time frame some more develop as that boundary sits right to our south. That'll come across, potentially could expand upwards to I-90 for the evening commute. It'll push east. Then the low really begins to deepen out to our east, and it'll be coming up. That's our next change going into Wednesday, late Tuesday night into Wednesday. Tomorrow's highs back to about seasonal upper 70s, low 80s. Less humidity, that's a big thing, and a lot of the good day will be dry. Tuesday night and Wednesday, that's the final thing. We're going to look for rain coming back in. Here comes that low comes up. We'll see shower thunderstorms developing on the north side of this low as it rotates around. So Wednesday does look somewhat wet, at least for areas south of I-90. That pushes east. Afternoon looks good then. And then Thursday, we're going to see some changes coming. And these changes are going to be interesting as we come through. But Wednesday's highs right now, upper 70s, less humidity, a little cooler than we saw for Tuesday. Thursday, we're going to bump those temperatures back up because we're going to have more sunshine, so back to some mid-80s potentially. And then the threat really becomes the heat, because there's going to be a warm front that's going to expand north probably by Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. South of that warm front, we're going to get warm, 90s, potentially mid-90s humidity. North along that front, that's when the big heavy rain threat for areas up to the north, Eau Claire to Ladysmith. There could be rounds coming Thursday night, Friday night, even into Saturday. Where that boundary sets up, you could have a lot of thunderstorms going on each day. If you're south of it, it's going to be warm. We're going to be south of it in La Crosse, and that's why we're going to have the 90s and the humidity, but a dry weekend. Then the things begin to change as that front sags south next Monday and Tuesday, and we start getting back into another active pattern. So if you're out and about, definitely have the app handy. Stay tuned to the radar. It's a lot of question marks. Something will be coming through, whether it's severe or not. Just be prepared for some thunderstorms here later this evening.
All right. Thanks very much, Greg. Coming up next in sports, new division, same stage. The Aquinas baseball team preparing for another trip to state. Hear why the Blue Golds feel like they've got an advantage as they aim for another first-place finish. Jacob is next.
Proper installation of your new windows make a difference. The team at Clear Choice Window and Home Solutions are factory trained to make sure your windows are installed to last. Call or stop into the showroom for your free estimate.
How do you find the best personal injury lawyer? You ask other lawyers. Every partner at Bygoff and Rohde has been ranked in the top 5% by their peers. Hire the MVPs of personal injury. Call BGR.
Do you ever wish your home had the comfort and ambiance of a fireplace? You're not alone. The good news, adding one is easier than you think. At La Crosse Fireplace Company, we'll help you design the perfect heat and glow fireplace for your home, customized to fit your style and space. And in just a few days, you'll be enjoying the warmth from a heat and glow fireplace. Don't wait to make your home complete. Visit La Crosse Fireplace Company today because your place is by the fire.
Online security is, like, as a mom, one of the very highest priorities. There's so many things that we have to watch out for. With Spectrum, I don't have to worry about it. I know when my kids are on their devices, they are protected because I'm not always sitting right next to them. The reliability, the connectivity, the security, everything is kind of all in one. That absolutely makes it worth it to me.
Fast, reliable internet starting at $30 a month, backed by the Spectrum commitment to keep you connected.
These days, there's a lot of talk about business in America. That's something that Honda knows all about, because most of the Honda vehicles sold in America are built in America using domestic and globally made parts. Honda's built over 31 million vehicles in the USA. Enough, if lined up end to end, would go from the Statue of Liberty to the Golden Gate Bridge and back over 13 times. Right now, well-qualified buyers can get the American-built Pilot with 3.99% APR financing. For details, see your Wisconsin Heartland Honda dealer.
Some decisions you can make quickly. I'm all in. But when you're hiring a personal injury lawyer, trust me, you're gonna win big. Do your research and object to anything less than the best. Call BGR.
Covering all the exciting action from your community, here's News 8 Now Sports with Jacob Lenzendorf.
It is the final week of high school sports here in Wisconsin. State tournaments in baseball and girls soccer are putting a bow on the 24-25 school year. The Aquinas Blue Golds will be back in Grand Chute after a state title a season ago. Aquinas was given the challenge of being bumped up to Division II, and they have embraced it. Now they're making their third straight appearance at Fox City Stadium. The Blue Golds won a couple one-run games last Tuesday in Merrill to extend their win streak to 9 games. Mike D's team is trying to recapture that state championship winning feeling from last year, especially senior Jacob Thornton.
That's definitely the ultimate goal. I mean, it's just even a blessing to even make it a state. I'm so glad to just play the max amount of baseball I definitely could, and to replicate that feeling would mean the world to me.
The Blue Golds' opponent, Seymour, is making their first ever trip to the state tournament, so the boys from La Crosse will certainly have the element of playing at this stage last 2 seasons on their side.
It definitely helps to know the place. It's like we kind of talked about it, like you walk in there and some people look around and be like, it's a big stadium, but for us, we've been there before, so hopefully we're less focused on that and just on the game.
And it's an early first pitch of 9 a.m. sharp on Wednesday for these two teams. Winner will advance to play whoever is victorious between New Berlin, Eisenhower, and Reedsburg Thursday at 3 p.m. Pivotal Game 5 tonight in the NBA Finals. This one tipping off from Oklahoma City in just over an hour. Thunder got the series back to even after a 7-point road victory last Friday. Teams that win Game 5 when the series is tied up at 2 have won 23 out of the last 31 times. Pacers 9.5-point underdogs. And in maybe the biggest sports sports news of the day. The competitive eating legend Joey Chestnut is announcing he's returning to compete in the Nathan's Famous Hot Dog Eating Contest after a one-year hiatus. Now, the 16-time champion did not partake last year due to a partnership with a plant-based food company, but the two sides have come to an agreement and Joey Jaws is back. 4th of July did not feel the same last year, so I'm glad the GOAT is back in the hot dog eating contest.
He was doing a juice cleanse, like emptying his stomach out. He needed a full year of it.
He may put up a record number this year.
I was going to say, what's the last number he's hit? Like upper 50s, early 60s maybe?
He might have hit 70s even.
I thought 80s.
It's a lot of dogs.
A lot of dogs.
So looking forward to July 4th.
Yeah.
Thanks, Jacob.
All right, Greg has a final look at your forecast right after this.
Farmers and rural homeowners, is it a pain to make time for Saturday trips to your town dump? Big Hook has a low-cost, convenient solution. Starting at less than $2 per day, we'll leave you a small dumpster and dump it monthly. Call Mike today.
In the hunt, every detail matters. It's not just about the thrill, but a passion for the craft. And in the end, it's about the people you get to be with. At Overhead Door, it's about our team and those we get to serve. We can repair any garage door, but we only install the best. Overhead Door Company of the Seven Rivers region since 1921.
There's a reason Chevy is called the heartbeat of America. A heartbeat strong, steady, unwavering, like the people who keep this country moving. For them, only America's most dependable truck will do. In every Chevy truck, like every Chevy driver, dependability comes standard.
Now, get $4,250 cash allowance, plus $2,250 in trade assistance when you trade in an eligible vehicle. That's 10% below MSRP.
Farmers and rural homeowners, is it a pain to make time for Saturday trips to your town dump? Big Hook has a low-cost, convenient solution. Starting at less than $2 per day, we'll leave you a small dumpster and dump it monthly. Call Mike today.
Okay, once again, the timing of the storm coming through looks like Eau Claire maybe after 7, could be like about 7:30 to 8. Rusk County a little bit earlier. If it holds together and continues to dive south, what's left of it will come probably through La Crosse, not till like 10:30. Sevier would be just in front of it with that wind gust. Behind it would be general thunderstorms. More storms Tuesday, Wednesday, but heat's coming back next weekend.
Yeah, looks like it.
Keep that app handy tonight.
Yeah, definitely.
All right, thanks for joining us tonight at 6. We'll see you at 10.